Welcome to day 4 of the flying disc action here at the World Games 2022 Birmingham, Alabama, setting the scene for semi-finals day, Australia versus Germany. The teams are suited and booted and ready to get the business end of this competition underway. Hannah Pendlebury and Liam Grant in the booth with you, comparing you through this semi-final spectacular. So Liam, tell me about the journey these two teams have had to this championship bracket.
Germany have been playing fantastic so far in this tournament, going 3-0 in Pool A. Started off with a convincing 13-5 win over the Canadians. Followed that up with just, a 13-10 win over USA, who already qualified for the final, and then a 10-8 win over GB.
That's the link that I'm watching.
They got stopped early due to a lightning delay. So yeah, comprehensive start for Germany. Australia started off with a very tight match against France, winning that one 13-12, followed by a 13-11 win over Japan. Both those teams have gone on to win games in the consolation bracket, so maybe proving that was a very tough group to come out of. Australia. They had a game against Colombia yesterday. We were thinking they lost 13-11. They're probably maybe glad they did after that performance from USA in their semi-final. USA were looking good. Very tough loss for the Colombians, but big opportunity for these two teams here. Australia looking to get back into the final. They were in the final back in 2013. Very few people returning from their roster. I believe just the Phillips sisters with that experience from back in 2013.
Well, the Phillips sisters destined to play for the team lovingly known as the Crocs back in their home nation. The Australian national teams having unique titles for each of the divisions and each of the levels of seniority, from juniors through to the world stage here at the World Games. But the Phillips sisters, their mother's maiden name was indeed Croc. So clearly destined, written in the stars on their flag.
Damn!
So
you really shit the bed.
Impressed you during this championship so far, Liam?
I think Germany have had the best offense of any team, so it just looks very organised. Everyone knows what they're doing. Nico Muller has been the standout handler of the tournament. Very few turnovers, leading the stats boards in terms of assists. 12 assists so far this tournament. He's going to get a few more today, I would imagine. So look, they look very good. Australia, the defense, what we expected before the tournament started, just athleticism, raw athleticism. It's almost what we expect with Australia when it comes to all sports, known for being a very sporting nation. As you see some of their Aussie fans in the crowd there.
Yeah, absolutely, and I think the real name of the game for them has been verticality. The height on the Aussies definitely works in their favour. A tall person's sport, as we see some fans really getting involved here in the stands. It's nice and warm in Alabama, Birmingham at the moment. Delightful conditions to play a game of ultimate frisbee, bit of discipline here at the World Games. So, what are you expecting to happen? The game format is a slightly curtailed version compared to how these teams are used to.
I'm gonna get a snack.
80 minutes long. Half time when the first team reaches 7, or at 45 minutes. Has that really impacted how these teams are coming out, Liam?
Look, that's the challenge of the World Games. You're 14 players, shortened games. That's an adjustment to be made. But I feel the real battle today is actually going to be in the heads of all the players. Both teams have played really well. We saw in the last game, America get their mental game right. They had real positivity, good gelling with the team. And we saw Colombia, just particularly in the first few minutes, crumble a little bit. And as you said, in that shortened game, you can't afford to do that. You can't afford to do this level. I think Germany have been fantastic in keeping their cool, their calm. We saw an interview with Nico Muller earlier on in the tournament, and he just looked so prepared, so focused. And you look at Australians, they've actually done a huge amount of work online before the tournament, talking about that mental game and how much mental preparation they've put in. So two teams that are very ready for this kind of prime moment in their lives.
Absolutely. I think it's really set a new standard for the level of preparation required to really peak at the highest level of the sport, because this is the show. This is what everybody wants to be a part of. And so fantastic for the Germans, who, this is the first time they've qualified since 2005, right? They're having a Cinderella story of a tournament here. And the fact that they just went so cleanly through. I think the last 2 games these teams played, the Aussies, as you said, had that slightly weird chess game against Colombia, but for the Germans, I'm a little bit worried for them because they didn't perform at their best. Their O-line got broken quite a few times from Great Britain, who haven't had the best showing out here at the World Games. It's nice to see them take a few off of the team that are going to be coming out in black. And yeah, but we'll have a little look at these rosters. And of course, they are very prepared. So 9 months in the oven for Team Germany. They've been training very hard and getting lots of reps together.
Please make Germans sure getting a round of applause from the fans in the crowd. They'll be starting off on offense. Please make sure you do give the stream a like and subscribe if you haven't already. They're the standout handler for the Germans. They've been so good, this offensive line. Really know their roles, know how to, you know, benefit the whole team, allow other people to take the pedestal when needed.
So that comes off of having worked so hard together as a unit, really coming out firing and being so clinical and frankly devastating the US. It was sort of the kick in the back that the team from the host nation kind of needed, though. They are the 4-time defending champions here at the World Games, and I think they came in a little bit soft into this tournament, not expecting to be challenged too much, although it is the classic story for the US, getting beaten in pool play rounds and then going on to be the big show later on in the tournament. But we'll see who's going to come out on top of this as the Australians wait to come out.
One sec.
Looking at the starting 7, you have one of the Phillips sisters, Mish. Anyone else on this one standing out for you as having a good tournament, Liam?
We talked about chess games earlier. Sally, you actually a chess champion, one of the chess champions from a master chess player from Australia. See if she can use that to her advantage today. Yeah, the Australians, again, like the mix of the lines, both these teams happy to do that. Everyone comfortable playing offense and defense. See Rob Andrews there, the lead goal scorer of this tournament.
He will be coming out on defense. Yes, Rob Andrews is indeed going to be coming out on defense for the Crocs in their starting 7. They have done that a couple of times, move the big man to go and get a block. As I said, in the beginnings of these matches, you have to come out strong, come out focused out of the blocks. Otherwise, you're going to see the game snaffled and taken away from you very quickly.
In this tournament, you see people cross over lines all the time. I think we're used to seeing 24, 2018 rosters. You have very D-line specific players. You can't afford to do that tournament. Everyone needs to be able to do everything. It's just the way it works here. But you know, these teams will have a lot of tape for each other now. They've probably all decided their matchups early on. Who's going to take Nico Muller? Who's going to try and stop Rob Andrews scoring more goals? Who's going to take Kat Phillips? Did some really good matchups with Kat Phillips. I really enjoyed her against Katie Ashida, Manu Cardenas. Had a really good game with them as well. So it's really exciting to see those matchups.
Absolutely. And to talk about the coaching units of these teams, we have 3 for Australia and 4 for Germany. So who have we got lined up on this with the clipboard and the stats and the thinking about these chess matches?
Yeah, Anna Rogacki, someone who's played in the World Games herself back in 2005 for the Australians.
What's this shot?
Fantastic coach, has coached before this level. And then for the Germans, and particularly Stefan Riquet.
You're just zooming in on the guy's crotch.
In Europe, and possibly the 2 most prepared teams at this tournament.
Well, we're getting ourselves prepared to get this second semi-final underway. We won't spoil the result from the first, as that will, you might not check that one out, but definitely well worth a watch, as is all the action here on the fields in Birmingham, Alabama. But of course, finals day tomorrow. Going to be a big, exciting one. Hopefully we won't see any more thunderclouds roll in. We've had changeable conditions in Birmingham, Alabama, but this evening, as you see the shadows starting to lengthen across the fields, it's a rather hot but windless affair. So you'll be able to use the full range of throws. We saw Australia in their last game really opening up the toolkit. Watch out for the hand of Tom Tullett, who's going to be, well, say that he might not throw quite so many full field hammers in this game, but you see there the fans using their own signs just to keep the beating sun off their faces.
I like that one doubles as a hat. That's a multi-use sign. This tournament has been great so far, Hannah. That's the big thing. It's been so enjoyable to watch every game. The story has changed many a time, particularly these Germans shaking up the script. It's been fantastic to just follow the journey with everyone. And this is a big opportunity for these nations. It would be amazing to have a European team in the final for the first time, but the Crocs have got medals before. They're going for gold here.
Karamal will be getting all the action underway with one of her big pulls. And the semi-final begins between Australia and Germany. Gerner is going to send to Zamula. Oh, look at that rundown from the legs of Kylo. That man is hungry for a block. I hope he's had his pre-game dinner. The Germans quite happy to be pushed back into their own end zone. If the Crocs make a catch here, of course, that would be a Callahan, which is when the offense throws but the defense scores. Nice movement from Gerner. Not sure what happened there. Is that a block or a foul?
There's a foul.
I believe Sally Yu running through there maybe initiated contact with Gerner. It does look like a zone here from the Australians, just trying to fluster that German offense.
So it looks like the
Aussies
are doing
of course, flying disc sport,
cheeky little
specifically in
junkie
ultimate
zone.
frisbee, is self-refereed. So players out there on the field, only ones able to make calls here, using some of their good communication skills and knowledge of the rules. So nice pop-up through the Croc defense. Seem to have melted to a match. The disc is high for Kyoko Binaviz. It's going to be, tipped off almost
nice
directly into
honestly.
her hands. Manages to retain it to Dosha. A bit of shakiness there for Team Germany, but they manage to come up.
Nice
Fortune
defense.
favours them. Dish off. Beutmuller. Volchak. It's so hot this entire tournament. Can't believe we've not talked about her already.
See Nico Muller gone from the handler space. First time we saw him maybe get shut down there once or twice.
Nice dish up back to Gerner, one of the captains for this German side. Oh, great use of the around space. And that is the first goal. It's a clean hold for Germany. It nearly overthrew Coco Binaviz to begin us off, but they find her for the goal.
That was the first straight pass I think I've seen from Nico Muller, but able to get back involved there. As you see,
I think the favorite is
the field, the Germans.
I think
a little bit shaky there.
I
think Australia will be happy how their D-line came out there. Didn't get the turn, didn't generate the block, but definitely put some pressure on the Germans.
As a defensive unit at this level, you can't be so unhappy with that. It's the first point.
Yoko,
you've challenged them, you've made them, basically get a bit of a lucky one off the top of a tip. And actually, it's the thing of, okay, fine, a couple of points as an O-line, a defensive line, you can deal with that. But when it starts to really mount, and they do that over and over, that's where you generate your blocks.
Kyoko Binaviz there, scoring. Better at scoring goals than tying your shoelaces.
Well, it's lovely to have the player from Mainzelmädchen and Mainzelrenner on the fields here after having her first child returning and showing that mums can do it too and be athletic as it gets.
No,
so,
it calls
Tulip
Finn, what are you talking
with the disc in hand, the double glove look.
I don't know if
Main
that's
handler
possible.
for the Crocs. Phillips shoots it into the centre of the field. Sam McGuckin there with the disc, puts a nice fading pass for his teammate.
Hit call. 69 views, let's go. 69 viewers, that's a huge dub, everyone. Not more, but.
In play. Spiegel. Mark. And doesn't like the look of Prentice's cut. Gonna find a dancing Tula on the far side.
Oh my god.
Or is it Tullet? I believe Tullet likes to play a little bit with us comms here in the booth, giving us a different pronunciation of his name every time he plays out here on the fields.
Good question. Is this 720p
high reception
or
from Gant. He's going to launch it into the centre of the field. High pass, but well received by McGuckin. Phillips dishes. Just thinking a little bit lost for options. Again, a high pass, but well received by Gan. I think Been given a lot of space. I think that's Schlor on him. Now Team Germany trying to tighten the screws. See that movement of Juliet's arm as he puts it up to almost release.
Okay, yeah.
Oh, and she gets it away. Phillips with the assist. I love that little celebration. Just popping the disc on the score cone. Alex Shepard with the goal.
18 holes to start the game. What a fantastic start. Pressure coming for both D lines, but the offense holding strong there.
I lowered the quality because
Phillips to Shepard. You have 2 of the 5 Phillips siblings on the field now. I think if you had all 5, that would probably be cheating or something like that.
Yeah, it's because I'm being lazy. I'm just leaning back. When I'm like this close, it's a lot louder. This mic's super sensitive.
But hello to the family, who I'm sure are all tuned in.
Mainly because I was like eating nuts, so I don't want you guys hearing me chewing on nuts. So yeah, I dropped the quality. It was 1080p before, but I was having a huge bitrate issue. I don't know if I also dropped the FPS down as well. I basically changed it all. Like, the stream seems to be running a lot smoother right now. Still 60 FPS.
Those players happy to play both lines, defense or offense. See him bringing them over quite a lot.
Yeah, actually though.
Have a male
1.1k viewers. Yo, I don't even know what it was. Like when I hit that 1k1 viewers, I was just like, what the fuck is happening?
Blocks, generating turns,
and
then finding himself very free in the end zone so many times. An absolute inhuman pull there.
Yeah, but my computer, my internet was struggling. I mean, it's great. Yeah, like if you're watching, like this should be. Oh, she's so sick. Go bid.
Can she make a play? No. She manages to overshoot arguably one of the most athletic players.
Oh no, her. What's her name?
He's hard to overshoot. Levkovajak definitely has.
It's a weird.
Speedy legs, but that one. Once or twice looked like it was the right speed, but just carried off.
She's so sick.
And the first break opportunity goes to Australia.
It's a hard one to contain when you're running up the sideline. You have all the momentum of your legs behind you, as well as your torso, and that sort of whipping motion. Large throw from Gerner gives the Crocs their first opportunity at a break.
Walls jack. Like, looking at that.
Curvy one into the chest of Andrews.
Spelling, how do you say that? Walls jack.
Like that big wind up, and then just a sit.
Did I say? I think Australia's running.
Egan Griffiths now.
Their offense seems to be running
standing in the shadows. It's got to be such a hard place to throw when you're sat in the shade, trying to hit the open sunshine. Good dishing and easy movement for the defensive units of the Crocs. Oh, nice. Big action man roll style, and he opens up a huge backhand. That's a lethal shot, and it's going to be reeled in by Andrews on the far side, just in bounds.
Bro, Andrews is a cheat code.
First blood goes to Australia. What a fantastic shot, and who else but Andrews getting his 11th goal of the tournament. That's what Australia is so good at, their D-line offense. They're just going to chuck it deep, use their height. Very much a trust throw, but as you said, one of the best receivers at this tournament.
And that's why you put him on the D-line. Those situations, oftentimes defensive units not the best at playing conservative offense when they get the turn. And if you can have someone who can just clean up in the end zone, in the height space of the field, I would throw that as well, to be honest.
Aruma patrolling her own end zone there. The leaders of this Aussie side, they're pumped up right now, looking to get a second break in a row.
Well, Ma did put the 2 fingers up. Don't think that was a signal for the second break, but we'll have to find out if the Germans are going to falter again. Oh, Müller immediately with the deep shot has Konrad Schlor underneath it, and an easy goal straight off the pull for Team Germany. That's more like it.
Unleashing his cannons, Nico Muller, 13th assist of the tournament feel like you should get an insurance policy on those arms. They're incredibly valuable to this German offense. Konrad Schloor, the man playing with Wall City in Berlin. Shout out to Wall City and Jinx, who I'm sure are watching in Berlin right now. I think the second best seat in the house. Best seat is where we are, Hannah, watching this fantastic game. But if I had to be somewhere else, I think it would be having a beer in Berlin right now, watching this game.
I do not disagree with you, Liam, although I'm sure down under they've got some pretty good watch parties as well. You are watching us from the other side of the planet, and a very big welcome to you. I'm pretty sure it's very, very early morning time in Australia right now. So the Crocs having adjusted to the time zone here. Both teams coming across a little bit early. Germans having some showcase games, some scrimmages to get them prepared for the weather, if anything else, as well as the time difference. It has been oppressively humid out here on the fields, as well as hot, hot, hot. Out of bounds pull from Volchak. The Aussies are going to bring it in. How many meters in the field?
18 meters from the front of their own end zone is the brick mark. You can choose to take it from where it crossed over the sideline, but generally speaking, people take it from the brick mark.
It's that lovely field position, centre and well in front. See the travel call there from Schulze.
The apprentice definitely ended up a meter or two away from the brick mark. It was quite an obvious travel call to make.
That really is the one place you can't get away with moving your foot away from where you planted.
Coming in stall 7 here.
Apprentice moving the marker Schulze around nicely, finding a reset, but it's going to be out of bounds or out of contention for Cap Phillips.
Fantastic pressure on the mark.
So I'm back.
Schulze.
I know everyone only wants to hear me talk
feet
my
around,
commentary.
bring up that
Hi,
intensity,
Liam.
and looking to get a break back here, the Germans.
Everyone say hi to Liam, please.
Can they level us and put us back on serve? It's a big swing around the back for Volchak. So devastating in the deep space. One of those players you just have to try and take something away as Livkar gets danced around in the short field. Nice expansiveness from this D-line, but a pick's going to bring it back.
Liam, I just saw your messages.
No, Konrad Schloor is fast, but he was a bit too free there.
Suspiciously free, some might say.
Bro, what's actually happening with the,
This
proper thing?
Start stall
proper
at 2. Players in the field, of course, having 10 seconds to move it around. Seems like a short time. It's actually quite a long time, but not long enough sometimes when you're being.
The Australian defense is so
sick.
sick.
Defense from such as the Australians. Nice inside shot to Binavis. Ooh, big bump there.
Did you hear that? Oh, I'm
tries
sorry.
to run through past Konrad Schloor. Separations there. Gans underneath it, and he roofs him.
Alex Gann picking up that one in the end zone, saving it for the Aussies. A great read from him.
Can't help but think the separation was there initially, but easily communicated and picked off. Great positioning from Gann, but the Crocs are going to throw it away.
Another opportunity for the Germans. Looking a little more flustered than they have the first 3 games of the tournament. Spiegel here. So give them the task of making the difficult throws for this D-line offense.
Oh, it's a hammer over the top. Germans taking a leaf out of the Aussie play,
grab,
big collision on the field, but manages to be clean enough. The advance. Schulze dishes off and goes up lane. Spiegel. Binavis. It's a big sitting, hanging disc.
Nice D.
Oh no, that's McGuckin tipping it out of bounds, and Konrad Schloor can do nothing but look in dismay.
The Aussies owning the skies for the moment. You can see Germany a couple of times with big lofty swings. You can't do that against this Aussie side. As you talked about, their verticality.
Prentice going to have to run that one down, does so competently. Nice shot into the break side. This is good stuff from the box. Players available in the deeps. McGuckin sets off, and he's going to be taken.
Oh, nice holster.
Across Phillips. Oh, look at the speed on the Aussie.
Those hands.
Oh, captain for her team, and it's a goal to Egan Griffiths.
Their second assist of the game. Phillips taking over there when,
I think Aussies had this.
When the team really needed them.
Once again, please just subscribe to the
YouTube
channel.
Plays in that point, but the Aussies eventually driving the ship into port.
Well, it's an interesting one in terms of the stats now, because we've had one break go to the team in gold and green, the Aussies, and they were flawless. They converted it just with one opportunity. That one was a hold with 2 turns apiece, so the Germans perhaps a little bit flustered when they're coming out on defence. But it's nice to finally see someone that can match the Germans for height in the air. At the moment, they're going to have to do something a little bit different with their throw choices. Andrews geeing up, ready to get us underway for the 6th point here in this semi-final.
Bro, it's so warm.
Müller there, picking up the disc for his side. He's doing a great job of keeping people well marked. At the moment, middle of the field, no, up we go. Oh, huge bid attempt. GER. Nice centre around, good find from Müller.
What was that release?
It's a very quick pass, almost telepathic.
Look at that defense,
Müller
that's fantastic.
Tirelessly. In comes Müller to replace. Oh, look at that stutter turn and stop. Oh, and a good dish into the end zone. That's a nice, clean, sophisticated hold from Team Germany.
Fantastic offensive hold. First goal of the game for Simona Liebert. A couple of times this game, Nico Müller not getting his free as easily he has against the Americans. No, against the Americans he's getting free at will. Against this Aussie side, a couple of times just cleared out, allowed someone else to come back and take over. But when he does get the disc in his hands, he is lethal.
Wait, what you mean?
Pick up another assist.
The link in the chat?
I think the interesting thing, there's been should we say a touch of shade thrown on the age of the USA roster, whereas the Aussies are perhaps a slight edge of young athleticism. So the dynamic movement to try and smother Nico Müller, I'm with you, it's been working very effectively, and that's going to be key for shutting down the German offensive unit. Nice to see Liebert coming back on the field though. She did miss out on the Colombia game, but returning here in the business end, as we say, of this tournament. So the German defensive line looking up to see if they can bring it back on serve. As we trade out in this first half. Phillips available, but good recovery from Volchak there, coming out of her position. Oh, nearly the layout. Callahan, what a scene that would have been. Again. Nice pass back to Prentice. See the Germans really poaching off, allowing the resets.
Okay, you know what's weird?
Schultz making a call.
So, like, the Australian, I guess, is golden yellow technically. I'm not the biggest fan of that color combination. Or golden green.
Discussions between these
but
two
like
players.
it's like you see it and you're like, hey, it's Aussie.
The Aussies have identified Nico Müller as one of their key players. The Germans identifying Prentice as a person who's going to touch the disc a lot for the Aussies, and having a good battle here with Schultz.
Schultz, of course, hailing from Jinx, but also from Yogo Benito, a name that will be familiar to anybody playing in the European circuit. 7, in fact, of those fun team players.
Like,
they can feel the whole line of Yogo Benito if
I
they wanted to.
the
Very
actual
stylish
link
team
works
with excellent stash game.
tomorrow.
Stash, of course, referring to uniforms. A bit jazzy.
But nice crowd.
Oh, with a big layout from Tullett.
I'm pretty sure it's Tulip, right? Any Aussies in here? Is it viewable in Australia?
And centering. Nice and quiet until, of course, Tullett opens up a huge flick. There's separation, and there's going to be a rundown. Tries to go over the top, but Kat Phillips holds her own in the end zone. It's a hold for Australia, 4-3.
Not all the heroes wear capes. Kat Phillips leading the charge.
So Kat Phillips with the
sunscreen
on her face.
I thought just to deal with Kovalchuk at the moment, who tried to go over the top.
I thought that was like a bandage.
Phillips got there first, held position.
Overall, great defense.
Strong in the air.
Like,
and the captains for St. Kilda's.
Like, Kat Phillips is not a short individual.
It's definitely something you'd get good at, is being strong in the air. Not only getting high,
I don't know how tall she is exactly.
Those 2 arms up, using your shoulders to protect yourself.
5'8"?
Not allowing Levka Kovalchuk an angle to attack the disc.
Yeah, Livka did an amazing job to close out that gap. There was acres of room for Phillips initially, but
again, please do like this stream.
Go up and, you know, respect.
I'm probably going to get in trouble for streaming
that
this.
The German national team have matching socks, which I really like.
Mate, we've got to get our hands on some of those socks.
No.
The ones they're actually wearing right now, or?
I don't know. Depends if they win, mate. That's got to be some historic. Oh my goodness! No, that would have gone in the history books if that had come off. Goodness gracious me, Kyle! Oh, you absolute demon!
They would have scored well in the Olympic diving.
10 points. 10 points.
Go down the disc, and he's on this team for that reason. That he specializes in being a handler mark, chasing down the disc, putting pressure on the likes of Mueller and the other German O-line handlers.
Well, this is nice popping, giving and going. Beutenmüller finds Prien. Oh, a dish over the top. Nikki Prien adds another to her tally, and it's a fast hold for Team Germany. These two sides now starting to just snaffle up the points in this first half.
Exquisite high release lefty here from Stefan Doscher to Nikki Prien. Always looks so happy when she scores. Always great to see players just enjoying themselves on the field. That's why we all play this game, love this game, watch this beautiful sport.
Absolutely. Doesn't always look quite so happy when you're marking up against her. I can speak from experience. But it's good to be serious when you need to. But all these teams having really enjoyed the World Games experience. They've been watching some of the other disciplines out here. So lucky to have not just flying disc action, but a multitude of other lovely sports here in Birmingham, Alabama.
Seen Nikki Prien play all over the world. The joy of playing with her myself. She's a bit of a gun for hire, can be found on many a different roster.
Well, that can be said for many of the athletes out here on the field. In fact, Lev Kovalchuk, who just treated us to a lovely sinking hanging pull, will be playing with the Colombian team at the World Ultimate Championships in 2 weeks' time in Ohio. So Phillips dancing around, trying to find some space. Tulet.
Took my sweatshirt off.
Now. Locked up by Kio Binavis. A fake from Shepherd. Oh, and a big leading backswing pass. And it's going to be a big launch off the double-gloved hands. Finds McGuckin in the end zone, who absolutely annihilates the mark of Torben Hirschenmeyer for another goal for the Aussies.
Nailing another deep shot. Harry Houdini, eat your heart out. That was pure magic from Tullett. He's been launching those ones perfectly to the right receivers. Again, we see the Aussies getting there first, getting up early. As this time, Torben Hirschenmeyer trying to get over the top, but you cannot get over the top of these Aussies.
Well, they are rather big gentlemen.
And ladies.
They're playing. I'm really enjoying the play style of the Australians. It's very... They don't always go for the big shot. They have been favouring them in this game. And when you have throwers like Toilette, you can't not. You've got to give them licence to make things happen on the field. I've only seen one overhead so far, and it has been from the Germans. It's with the lack of wind out here on the fields in Alabama, it's made a huge difference. We've had, I think, a maximum of 10 miles an hour gusts. And that really just allows these teams to give us a display of all their throwing prowess.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, the crowd getting buzzed for this pull.
The Germans on the attack in their end zone. Nice movement from GER, runs that down easily. Back to Müller. Oh, nearly ran away from the disc, did Simone Libert. These Germans are really getting these lovely lead passes. Really good movement, has separation, chooses to pass it off, giving and going. Müller now, knocking on the door of the next German point. A little bit of a high one, but well received, Stefan Doscher. Oh, and a nice find. I think that might have been a lefty even for Anna Gerner. She adds one to her tally. No, I take that back.
Can someone check if the official link is working?
Deja vu from Stefan Doscher. Just does that high release lefty again, getting great joy with it. It's that inside angle. Left-handed player who uses his backhand quite a lot. Sits on that one, but if it ain't broke, don't fix it. But it's the Germans who need a break now. The Australians who got that early break started off on defense. So if they can stop the Germans from breaking, take half, they'll come back out on offense again. So Germany really want to get that break back before this half ends.
And like many sports, Ultimate does start off with a flip in order to determine who will come out on offense and who will come out on defense. Bit of luck coming into it. And you do make your own luck, but with a flip, you know, it's either or. So if this one does end up on trade, if these teams are evenly matched, it would be Germany, of course, advancing. But they'll have to get themselves a break back.
The official stream should be up.
So Torben Hoschmeier with this next pull, as the Germans will look to do just that. Put us back on serve. Prentice all alone. Soon joined by Volchuk. Phillips moving Lena Trautmann around.
Wait, hold on.
Such a defensive weapon for the German side, and it's going to be out of bounds. Nothing that Tulip can do apart from look in longing. Müller. One of two available.
Yeah, okay. It says it's working for me. Hey, make sure you guys go watch the actual stream. I'll be actually 1080p.
There's a third. Müller brother. It's Michael on the roster here, but I'm sure he's cheering for his brother at home.
I'm sure all of the family, nay, all of the German Ultimate family are watching this one. Is Schlor going to reel it in? And we are back on serve.
Or tearing into the end zone. We see a little pirouette there. The man who's done a bit of ballet in the past. Fantastic footwork from him.
I believe ballet is how he managed to get those absolutely insane quadriceps. If you ever see Schlor up close, it's a thing of beauty. I mean, he's very agile, very graceful, but such a powerful unit of a human being.
Some of our analysts yesterday talking about who would make their team of the tournament. Konrad Schlor is definitely a name that was mentioned. I think Lev Kovaljak was this now made it on all the analysts' team. Just a really great all-round player.
Absolutely, and part of that kind of rising to the fore for Volchak, I think, has been due to kind of just having international experience, a little bit by virtue of not really having so much a home club to play with. She's come out, she's played for Revolution from Medellin, she's played for, I want to say Boston Brute Squad, but it's probably not. but a whole plethora of teams that have really allowed her to expand her game and become just lethal pretty much anywhere on the field. Oh, a racy shot into the centre from Prentice. Tulip thinks about the pop, but well stopped by, I believe that's Schlor. Oh no, it's Müller. Uncontested foul though. She saw Tulip looking for that dishy inside and just getting a little bit of the paw of the number 18 from Germany. Griffiths looking a little bit lost for options, and there we see that dish through. Benavides has a little look at making a play on that one. Look at the height difference in that matchup. Speed versus height. McGuckin now opens up a big one around to Andrews, who finally leaves the end zone. Oh, beautiful around pass, sitting nice and high. Tulip shaping the body, making sure he closes the door for any poachy type behaviour. Andrews a big around. Egan Griffiths being pushed onto the sideline. Aussies being forced to work around the edges of the field. Boyden Müller cannot prevent that arcing bladey flick. Oh,
that's
Kat Phillips, no concern for her body. Did she manage to toe that one in?
Being called out by Voljak.
Gino, give us an answer.
Game advisors can give their opinion if asked, and Phillips happy to go along with the game advisor. Good spirit there from Kat Phillips.
I have to absolutely commend Kat Phillips. There was an instant yesterday, very similar, very close line call, and she just handled it and dealt with it so well. You often see players get quite salty when they've made huge efforts like that, but Kat Phillips, that's a pretty much an everyday job for her, just making huge plays, trying to save and be a hero to her teammates. Gosha. Big stoppage downfield.
Big opportunity now for Germany to get 2 breaks in a row and take half.
Absolutely, that kind of momentum can see you well on your way to a gold medal matchup. Gerner. Oh, lovely inside dish. It's going to sit and hang and be high though. Oh, man, did they just manage to toe that in? Absolutely beautiful.
That was a really sick toe.
Marvin Vollvogel with an incredible towing of the line. Looks like Voljak has called a timeout. She wants a breather as they try and punch this one in to take half.
Well, you get 1 timeout per team per half in this format. And I think that is a brilliant use of a little pause for the Germans.
I've often been against the in-play timeout, but look, if they score here, they won't be able to use that one anyway, and they're looking a little bit flustered at offense there, so with the likes of Gerner and Doscher on this line, who've traditionally been playing a lot of offense for them, so big opportunity now for those 2 players to get really involved and get a break for the Germans to try and get a 2-point lead for the first time in the game.
Since the official stream's working,
with you on
I'm just going to go back to like
editing, live play.
Editing photos, so it's like stream might get a little laggy.
Count of 2. So you've still got 8 seconds left.
I'm
going
to keep watching because I want to watch
Let's be honest, if she needs to make a play and do something inhuman, I'm sure she's more than capable
I'm
of
going to
it.
be editing
The ones I really don't like is when you're on the goal line. Those ones,
check out the actual link. Like if it doesn't,
coin those of
the links
it's a turn out,
not working for
not
some people.
But we'll see what's going to happen here.
Then
this matchup between Kat Phillips and Liv Kovalchuk. This is a brilliant one to watch.
I really hope Kat Phillips has a zinc sun cream sponsor.
Oh, it does.
Reminds me of an Australian lifeguard.
Like, is it still?
Oh, the handler marks off. The Aussies really trying to bait a poach block. but ice in the veins of Livka Volchak.
I think the Germans go backwards quite a lot in this game. I think that's mostly down to the fantastic Aussie pressure, particularly around the handler marks. They probably put more pressure on these German handlers than any other team. And they're struggling a little bit with Germany, but happy to go backwards if they can keep possession of the disc.
Yeah, the negative yard passes, they've just been consistent. They've not sort of just lost it backwards. They are, you know, they're still legitimate throws. They're still very secure. They have that trust in each other and that patience.
Ow.
As this defensive line come out and try and snag another break off the players in gold and green.
Like I'm gonna leave this up. Like if it gets laggy, I'll to leave. Like I'm gonna continue
there as we see another pick or violation slowing down play.
I'm just like also editing photos.
Ruler threatening me around. Oh, moving Andrews all over the shop.
I wanna go out and have
all the stamps in his passport.
But I'm not allowed to go have fun unless
the dynamic movement of the number 18 from Germany. An absolute masterclass in how to move on the field out here in Birmingham. Woo! Oh, it's a big reaching lay for Gerner. Gets a little bit of hang time.
That was a proper
all aboard Anna Airways. Volchak with a nice around.
I really like that throw.
Give and go with Schlur, who is not marked whatsoever. Shepard now coming in to apply the pressure. Ate the stall. Players moving back and forth. It's going to be Volchak. No, it's not. Sneaking from behind like a thief in the night. Schulze not able to make the play on the disc. But there's a call. Don't know whether it affected that one. An injury call, looks like. We've got Alex Prentice coming off on the field.
Great pressure there from Australia. You can actually hear the stall count coming through from the field audio. You see how intense they're marking these German players, and the turnover will stand.
No more editing.
So replacing Prentice, we have Liv Carr. Germany not choosing to take an injury sub as well. Because they are offered to replace a player and get fresh legs of their own. This point starts to become a bit of a long one. Phillips thinks about the big bun. Oh my goodness!
Was that a D?
Efforts from Team Germany, just trying to cause confusion. I think that was Benavides that went for a little bit of a flying lesson.
I feel like she got a piece of that.
Incredible
she did.
Layout. She does get a tip to it. I thought it might have just been a ghost defense,
sick.
but she does get a hand. That was sensational.
She may be small of stature, but she is absolutely mighty of spirit out here on the field. Kio Benavides with an absolute sensation of a block. So the temperature rising here as the fields cool down. This evening game slot. Oh, lovely inside break to Gerner.
Oh my God.
Sit and hang. Well brought down by Volchak. Nothing fancy needed. Oh, dish back to Gerner. She nearly gets the hand blocked as Egan Griffiths, those long rangy arms getting in the cake mixer. Schulze looking around. Takes advantage of the face mark of Shepard. Patience, all of Team Germany coming into the underspace, rotating round, seeing if they can open up.
Conrad Schlur trying to take over here. He's the one getting free the most and shoots to the end zone.
Spiegel with the goal. Oh, absolutely. Damn. The man from Wall City, as you say, takes control, takes a hold of this game, and that is half for Team Germany. 3 on the bounce, putting themselves 2 ahead.
Such a crucial point in this game. We saw Conrad Schlur taking over there. The Germans were really struggling to get up the field, this D-line offense. But he came in, ended up kind of quarterbacking, just using his legs to generate some momentum, and then finding Spiegel in the end zone. Usually the man throwing the assist for this German D-line, but switching it up there, moving it around. You see they're trying to force Schlur under, so he just came and played small ball.
Absolutely. Well, we said that it was the rotating round that really gave the Germans the advantage there. Such a strong roster. I mean, for both sides, to be fair. This has turned into such an exciting game. At the moment, the Germans are leading it with 1 break over the Aussies. We'll take a little bit of a break here and be back with you in a moment.
I wonder if they do force sun. In us, right? I kind of like that little edit of the following the disc. Ooh! Bro, I'm ready to go to sleep. Oh, face cam died. I'm gonna go refill my water. Oh, my body.
Half-time here at World Flying Disc, the World Games 2022, Day 4 semi-final action in front of us, Australia versus Germany. The Germans lead by 1 break after first blood went to the Aussies. Early stages of the first half. As you see the Germans preparing there. Liam, what have been your highlights of this game so far?
The Australian defense has been fantastic. It's kind of the first 2 turnovers, not a whole lot, but you can see they are putting them under pressure, which is good from the Australians. But the Germans always finding a way, and I like how they've had to adapt different roles. We saw in the last point Konrad Schlur coming into the handler position. We've seen Anna Gerner maybe take over more as the axis handler rather than Nico. And it just shows their dynamic play. They're all happy to do whatever's given to them. I think that's been really important for this German offense. Been a fantastic game so far. All the fans in the stadium really enjoying it. It was a game we were looking forward to. Will we see a European team in the final for the first time, or the Aussies coming back for more?
Well, at the moment, I am loath to put any allegiances to either side. 2 Europeans here with the booth with you. Hannah Pendlebury and Liam Grant. But the Germans coming out on defense. They started with the first offensive point, 2 clean holds. And then, of course, that break from the players from down under. Prentice. That's Phillips on the far side. Chooses the inside to Gann. Smother coverage downfield off of our screen clearly, because the hand is looking a little bit dry for options.
Looks like we had a pick called in the stack.
A few pick calls in this game.
Not as many as in the other semi-final, which we're glad to have. More flowing offense here. And of course, different from other sports such as basketball picks, i.e. you're not allowed to use other people's bodies as walls to get away from your defender. And a huge ripper of a backhand from the pole of Kat Phillips. It's going to be a goal for Sam McGuckin. Easy stuff to get this second half underway.
Big buttery biscuit from Kat Phillips, stretching the field there. She's been on point this game. One of the stars of Aussie Ultimate for the last decade. She won a World Championships back in 2010 with the Australian U23 team. She wants another one.
Well, you can hardly call Kat Phillips greedy. And I just love the way she has such a loose body when she releases the disc. Very relaxed. And at the moment, Sam McGuckin also looking very relaxed, considering how hard he's been going to bat for the Crocs. 2 scores and 1 huge block to his name so far.
I've seen a lot of big backhand hooks from Kat Phillips. Often when the force is forcing forehand, she manages to just turn very quickly, use her big pivot, and throw it on stall 1, the best time you can throw a hook. I was going to say they should try and force forehand more, but I think they were in that point, and that's why McGuckin was so free at that side of the field. You need to try and stop that weapon.
Rosie here over the tannoy there, the big man for the Aussies, getting this one underway. Gerner and Müller in the back set.
You see 3 Aussie men at the front of this zone. Not something you see too often.
Well, very, very common coming out of the Aussies. Actually, they love to put their big men in front, and this time it pays off. That's Shepherd with the block. They have such good receivers in the deep space on their women. They just sit at the back of the zone knowing it's going to hang and sit and be easy to read. It generates the turn for the land from down under. It's a huge flick, and oh my goodness, what a grab high in the air.
A fantastic. Rob Andrews there punching that disc into the air. That is some classic D-line offense. Ladamatos putting up the trust throw to the most reliable receiver in the world, debatably, at this stage.
Well, he is having the tournament of probably his career thus far. Rob Andrews, correct me if I am wrong. My goodness. So we are back on serve. Ironically enough, that huge play for the Aussies isn't going to be enough. If we trade out from here, they will be left in the dust. At the moment, anything can happen in the early stages of this second half, but what a game we have on our hands, Liam.
Rob Andrews, biorhythms at such a high frequency, nearly blowing out our broadcast unit, but we're back and we're live.
Müller to Gerner, as so many of these points have started off, either one to the other. Volkswagen. Nice find near side to Schloor. Korea now getting a little bit of a kiss from the mark of Alex Ladamatos. Buy a lady a steak dinner before you do that kind of action.
Definitely foul, but I actually just like that foul call in those moments. Actually nearly benefits the defense. I like to see the contact call being made.
Of course, Ladamatos not intentionally hitting do any of the sort. You can see how much the Aussies really want the disc. They are hungry for a second bite of the break apple.
I was expecting that.
Müller to Gerner. Being matched up by Kat Phillips And Mish Phillips on here too, so dragging Kat, well I say dragging, I'm sure she's quite happy to be on the D line as Kat Phillips, but both of the Phillips sisters on the field taking matchups. Volchak matched by Mish and GER matched by Kat.
A little debate about what this stall is going to come in on. I have to say the spirit has been fantastic in this game. There's been a few little bumps in here and there, but as you said, very unintentional. It does happen when you have 14 people who run around like mad yokes on the field.
Absolutely, and all the absolutely massive bids where it's been full dive have been clean as it gets. Oh, and an easy, quick dish. Nikki Priam with another score. She owns that part of the end zone.
Pirouette there, Nikki Priam with the history of gymnastics. If we like to attack that break side corner when they get
something I
the
really
end
like
zone.
about Liam being a commentator is he does his research about different players
German
to learn
offense.
something interesting about them.
They regain the lead now.
We do have to credit the core strength and throwing prowess to hit Brian in stride. Because obviously not having established a pivot, it's not travel, and Brian ever available.
I don't think I've ever seen a zone defense in mixed where they have 3 male matching players on the front. It's unusual, and it works for a little bit.
But it's something that the Aussie teams tend to do quite a lot. Because it's when you know you have such incredible receivers that can play the deep in your zone, so they have a great read of the disc, they've got a decent height. Because the further you are from the disc, the longer the defense has to adjust to any big pass that goes up. And having those huge just titans at the front can be so hard to throw around, especially if you end up with a smaller statured player on the disc. Oh my goodness, that was a sensational block. Troutman with a huge drop with a I'm just not able to make good use of it.
I'm surprised we didn't see a
He's still my beating
back on
heart.
that.
What is this game doing to my emotions?
I believe that was Katarina Schulze who got her hand there, or wasn't, I'm not entirely sure.
Oh, I don't know, she was streaking deep, whoever it was that got that block. By the way, scenes out here on the fields. Troutman there trying to get the layout block. Ooh. Travel called.
Don't know about that.
That was the throw I talked about earlier, that stall one backhand hook from Kat Phillips. And that one looked like a hurt almost, definitely a lot of power to stop that disc. And a big opportunity for Germany, they kind of rushed it. Handed the disc back to the Aussies. Travel called.
If you're new to the channel, please do subscribe. I don't always do watch parties, normally because I'm at events.
I'm G'd up for this game, Liam. I'm so ready.
But it really does help if you subscribe. All my extra content from filming tournaments and maybe some full games eventually will be on this channel.
Ready to get the disc.
So yeah, give us some love.
After that huge block, it's not been tacoed.
Try to hit 1,000 subscribers at some point on this one.
The correct and expected way. Nice movement from Chula. Nice and high for Phillips. Okay, Benavides now taking that matchup. Oh, and it's going to be a potentially bridge too far. No, doesn't need to make the layout bid, just scoops it up from below. Alex Shepherd with the goal and a hold for the players in gold.
Turns on the jet boosters there. Shepherd, look, that one was a little bit in front of him, a little bit low, and just using that pace and speed. Thought he was going to have to lay out, but this man can chase down anything.
I think actually laying out for that one might have seen Shepherd come unstuck, because if he'd had to launch with so little ground left in the end zone, might have ended up landing out of bounds, because of course on the line in Finder Sport is out. So leveling us back up 8 apiece. We were bingo callers, be a very exciting number, but we're not. Karimar there readying for the next charge for the Australians.
Damn.
This game down to the wire. It's been such a great semi-final so far. Both teams neck and neck at the moment.
Bird.
Müller. A little bit lost for options. Eventually goes over the top.
Nice shot. I love that throw. I wish I had the confidence to throw that.
Just hear the catch, Ebert. Suspiciously free in the centre of the field is Anna Gerner. Pick going to bring us back.
And you see Kat and Mish on this D-line. Kat's playing on every point at this stage.
Well, it's worth it to get yourself into that gold medal match because, of course, that is what we are playing for right now. Ebert gets a little bit too much contact from the mark, calls the foul. Going to be accepted.
Photographing on this field would be so difficult.
Rian surveys. Finds Boyton Müller. Oh, lefty dish from Müller. Moving across. A bit of ease, but great work from Gann to shut the door. The foot's not going to help you on a high release. Benavides. Loose mark initially from Carr. Really available on the break side. Oh, just at the rim, and it's a lovely bit of fancy footwork.
That's a really nice
with the
toe.
score.
Nico Müller finding his groove on offense there again. Getting free a lot easier that time. Could shake off a bear inside a phone booth. Puts up the high release pass to Steph Dusher.
Shake off a bear inside a phone booth. Yo, this is why we love Liam Grant.
Mixed ultimate. Finished 7th in the world with Hässliche Erdwerkel.
Of Marburg, although he's currently living in Karlsruhe.
Yeah, playing more recently with Bad Skid, as are many of the men on this German team.
He's in fact actually just had surgery earlier this year on his throwing shoulder. So absolutely incredible recovery to be back here on
I'm gonna
the
need a
fields.
cheeky little nap after this.
Actually threw a turnover earlier on in this game. I don't think I've ever really seen him throw a turnover. He's a very, very safe receiver. Just likes to keep things rolling. Often just dishes it straight back to Müller.
Torben Hirschmeier. Just waiting for this one to get underway. 58 minutes nearly expired in this game that will be played to 80.
Great ball.
Of course, points cap at 13. Are we going to get the full 25 out of this match? Here's hoping. So you see Andrews, the 25 on his shirt, passing to Shepherd. Nice dish. Hot pressure from Troutman. Going to have to go around. Nice snag and the save from Chula.
Appreciate the like on the stream.
Phillips in the backfield. Happy to take the negative yards, sneaking it around the back of Troutman. Prentice very free up the line. Conservative option, Shepherd around. Oh, that's going to sit and hang. Pressure, but not quite big enough to take the disc away from Liv Carr.
I think they should be wider. Like that, this angle right here. This is why this should stay.
Tulip surveys. Has separation, doesn't like it. Chooses the under. Andrews is going to put a disc of his own into the deep space, and that is a lovely goal for Alex Shepherd, proving he can do both. Rob Andrews with the assist.
The Aussies have earned so much respect going deep. The big lads in gold that the Germans have been really struggling to deal with. Shepherd gives a wry smile to the fans. certainly a lot of Aussies out there cheering them on.
You can see Spiegel there with a look of dismay, just having to soften off his run. Knew he could get anywhere near the young man from Sydney.
It's been interesting, like Germans have been going up 1 or 2 of them. Aussies get it back. Germans drop 1 or 2, Aussies bring it back.
In 2018.
I wonder if like the Aussies will kind of like
his ACL and actually didn't have
keep
surgery,
it together and push through and get like that one extra break.
Yeah,
it's an interesting one when your surgeons tell you your knee is in such good form, but actually if we repair that ligament, we're going to put you behind. Actually make your leg worse. Just shows how stacked those legs are.
Please do subscribe to the stream. Help it out. Appreciate you if you do.
On the fields in Birmingham, as the Germans look for another hold.
Like if we could hit, probably won't, but if we could hit 700 subscribers today, that'd be insane. Absolutely insane.
Pressure from the
27.
Aussies, sagging off, trying to close up the underspace. Schlor lashing it around. Saw him take charge in one of the defensive points, but
26
here
more.
he is on the O-line just to make sure the Germans can sink this one in. Phillips puts the hand into the mixer, tries to steal one out of the cookie jar.
Oh! Bid.
It's going to be tipped off. Nearly the redemption bid from Prin, but
I like the
not
second
able
effort.
to come up with the hero.
I feel like it should have taken 1.5 more steps.
But will it be gold and green?
I think she would have got that.
Shack in the water, he can smell blood. Latamatos with the big play to give him the break opportunity to take the lead.
Yo, thank you for hitting the subscribe button, everyone. Appreciate you. Making these watch parties much better. Mainly because I hate frisbee. That's why. It's so true. Can you guys imagine if I actually hated frisbee? That'd be so weird. Felt my whole life to showcasing the sport, but I hate it.
23. Put up a high one around. At least some friendly fire from Sam McGuckin. Latamatos having got on the block. Sits in that hand of space. Müller poaching off. Oh, he makes a great layout.
Bruh.
Almost casual stuff in the center of the field.
I had in the last.
Germany's O-line get it back. It's a high.
Oh!
Oh my goodness! Rob Andrews roofing.
Oh my God!
For another goal, and that is spicy.
Yo, Justin, were you here for the last game?
Just a big bladey hook on top of Andrews.
Bruh!
Gets a tough matchup of Schlor, but gets a great read on it. Gets up
Just
early.
so
what happened for the last game?
Latamatos is very accurate with those throws. You can see what their D-line offense is all about, and they're in the lead as we get into the business end of this game.
Yeah, 100%.
Well, that's why you see those
sport's the worst. I hate
off.
frisbee.
It's not always the throw choice for a
so
side. That blady flick that comes down
like Olympic Channel or whoever is like actually doing this, they properly shit the bed, and they geo-blocked the stream in 42 countries, including Colombia, for the Colombia-US game. So apparently,
in these cam conditions,
tons of people are trying to get VPNs to Canada. Stream was down for everyone. I don't know how this stream was still working, but I was the only source for 1,200 people.
So far, the shape of this game has been call and response.
So for a while, I had 1,200 people watching.
The Germans then went
and then
on
my
internet kind of went to shit or something like that. So a bunch of people stopped, but yeah, there's like
in this game before.
Yeah, so many people watching.
By the Aussies a number of times. Let's see if they can put this one in, or if the Aussies can go on a little bit of a break train.
Aussies are getting a D here.
Runavis to Volchek. Müller coming for the around. Lefty dish into the path of GER. Müller having to work so hard to get free of Gan. High one, Schlur. No, sorry, that's Bull.
Oh, dude, I was panicking. I didn't know what to do.
Because like, looks around for the reset. It's gonna be a high
great
stall
defense.
release valve into Volchak, who just has a focus error. Can it be Lada Matos picking it up?
She looks exhausted.
The Germans have been so good. Is this the moment where they misstep?
Because like, even this stream, I was expecting 15 people.
Reaching grab from Mish Phillips. Lada Matos available.
It's a D.
It's going to be high. Oh, it's going to be taken away by Nico Müller. Oh, they're trying to get it back off each other.
You're not hitting. Why are you not hitting that?
This needs to be calm and hold. Stefan Doscher.
Yeah, so I was expecting.
On the goal line. Dishes back to Beutenmüller.
Bro, what's my internet doing?
Yeah, I was expecting 15 people.
No mark whatsoever.
And then 1,200 people showed up.
Nico Müller is stepping up when needed. He's been the O-line anchor for the whole tournament, but has to make the big defensive play there. Got huge. And rounded us down to outside the Aussie end zone. Well, there's a pick called. We'll see if it stays with Gerner. Probably like to see Müller come back. He's in the stack now, but they probably need him to come take over again.
Nick, where are you at? Where you at?
Good. Running the offense.
Yo, we're 22 subscribers away from 700. So yeah, if you could hit the old subscribe button, that'd be great.
11-9 would be a very different dynamic. Gerner puts up another high loose one, and it's going to be smacked away by Alex Gan. Both teams throwing lofty in the late stages of the day here in Birmingham.
Alex Gan says to Nico Müller, anything you can do, I can do as well. We see two handlers getting big to make the defensive plays.
I mean, if he would have called.
Yo, this camera angle. Oh, so good.
Just great. Gives the opportunity for Kara Ma to get us underway. Huge fakes and huge shots from Kara Ma. It's going to be Andrew Enzo with the huge grab. The double break for the Aussies. Oh my goodness.
Rob Andrews just shut up his own roofing company. He's been owning everyone in this game. Steph Doscher doesn't even really get off the ground. Small bit of contact, but no call from Doscher.
I wonder when he's gonna get called for vertical.
Rob Andrews, i.e., what's his reach versus his
really?
height? Because he's a tall man, but I swear he must be hiding a step ladder underneath that jersey.
Sheesh.
I feel like it's almost a cheat code for getting assist stats. It's just lobbing it up to him. Matos has kind of been taking it for now, but Karamaz like.
You know, it's like Australia's not gonna win this game. Like Rob Andrews is gonna win.
If it works, don't change it. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. At the moment, see,
Rowan was saying
coaching for
he was talking. He was like all over Rob Andrews, and he's just like, yeah, he's like Ty, but like taller and more athletic. And can jump higher, throw better. I'm like, nah. Okay, yeah.
What I like most about it is you know exactly which injury ratio.
Like this dude is pretty consistently roofing people.
As a line handler, I'm also a huge fan of that rule. Visibility in the sport is so important, and at the moment, the women of Germany trying to get themselves in charge as Nico Müller gets
that's dangerous. I don't like that bid at all.
Left alone, and he's going to put an easy score into the path of Lynn.
I really hated that bid.
That puts the Germans into double digits.
Beautiful hold there from the German offense. The Aussies like to throw themselves around. They're inches away from making a block, but if you do lay out, you often leave someone unguarded, so it ended up being an easy finish to the point.
I think their shutter speed's too low on their cameras.
The toe-in from Nico Müller, they nearly managed to throw it out of contention, even though he had no one guarding him whatsoever. But Trautmann with the score, another of the athletes out here who's been having an excellent tournament, and she's going to pull some double line appearances here, coming out on defense for Germany, and they need to get this one. Well, they might see the Aussies close the door quite quickly.
Surprised not seeing Nico Müller cross over. It hasn't really happened all tournament long. They're very specific about him playing offense, and Spiegel leading the defense. It's Konrad Schlor. I'm sure he's dying to try and stop Andrews in the air, but nobody's done it yet.
Well, he has been pulling lots of double duty, has Konrad Schlor. I think with Müller, Liam, you've got to make sure that your O-line anchor is nice and rested, getting all of the oxygen he needs so that he can come out and execute for those holds.
The pulls, pretty much all tournament, have been so beautiful.
We see potentially some zone matching here. Zone defense for the Germans, and certainly, yes, changing up the rhythm of their play. The adjustment coming through. Gan. The Spiegel on the mark. Perhaps some sort of saggy, boxy zone. Oh, huge scenes upfield from Kat Phillips. Pushing back. Tulip now.
Hit that.
McGuckin fakes it over the top. The Germans look to be sticking with their zone E4. Tulip, nice and low. But easy does it. Oh, and pops it in. And just a floating little backhand finds Gan right in the chest. And the Aussies bring themselves within 1 point of the gold medal match.
Unbelievable offense from the Aussies. Under immense pressure, keep the calm, keep the cool, everyone getting involved, stretching the Germans. Alex Gan has had a sensational game. Has a number of goals, assists and blocks, getting involved all over the field.
I was pretty impressed with Gan in the match against Colombia yesterday. Had a really great day, but today he's just come out with a little bit something
I did a
extra.
workout yesterday and my legs hurt so much. I hate it.
It's so useful for the Aussie side. But that zone, Liam, nearly generated the turnover. Kat Phillips having to just stamp her toes in the ground and just hit the deck to keep the disc alive. So just a game of inches here. But this is the first and only opportunity for the Aussies to come out on defense and really plant their flag.
Can you imagine if I was at this game? Oh.
The atmosphere is electric. And the ball is going to be kicked back. A bit of foot frisbee.
He'll have backfield the disc in this sport, but Nadamatos unintentionally kicking.
Offside, Volchak, the superstar athlete for the Germans, being left all alone. Sure. Oh, and a stumble there. Contact from Sam McGuckin sends.
Overall, this has been a really clean, low call game.
This is uncontested foul. I believe the disc should go to Samuel Beutmüller as he was throwing the disc.
There was indeed a foul there. Germany called the foul.
But to have their game advisors in green just to give rules clarifications.
Oliver Brown there in the lovely green shirt. Looks to be an accepted foul there. Although McGuckin just saying they two players are jostling together by the looks of those hand signals. We didn't quite catch the action on our cams, but you can see the hand there for McGuckin goes out with a way of apology.
It was.
It just catches the back of Samuel Beutmüller's foot.
There's one game, I think Canada.
Maybe arguing that he might not have got there.
Is it Canada-Germany? One of the Canada games is pretty bad. Can't bother me.
Keep the disc, which is the correct outcome.
Regardless, the intensity of the Aussie defense is so fierce. Gerner pops to Priyan. This one to keep the dream alive for the underdogs of this tournament. Started at the very bottom of the seedings. Now they are here fighting for survival and progression to a gold medal chance. Still count rising, dishes it back.
It's a great high pressure throw.
I one for Müller. Volchak thinks about the easy dish. Takes a little bit of a bump on the mark.
While we have the short break, please do subscribe. We're trying to hit 700 subscribers today. We're 22 away. I'll love you all if we make that happen.
Big opening around break to Müller. High dish. Gerner's going to have to make a bit of a ballistic play on that one.
Our boy came in hot.
Everybody poaching off from the Aussies. Resets are high and lofty. Dusha to Gerner. Had Volchak available in front.
Oh!
He tries to get up, but
our boy was flailing.
Nothing but grasping, clutching at the grass. And the score for Stefan Dosha. The Germans keep this game alive for at least one more.
What's the
point of flying this
game situation like for tomorrow?
They're doing well to fake out Latamatos, put him on the floor. Dosha always very controlled with his footwork. That was fantastic defense from Australia. I think Nico Müller ended up on the ground at one stage in the resets. There was a lot of stall 9 resets from the Germans, but they held through the pressure. It is game point now for Australia. They have the opportunity to win the game here and now.
Well, anything could happen. Certainly we've seen the Germans
Hey, he stopped one of the throws.
Not necessarily the biggest of them all, but certainly coming into this tournament who we expected to be in a final berth, i.e. the USA, taking down the host nation in pool play, guaranteeing themselves the top spot and the, in inverted commas, softer semi-final. But Pool B was an absolute splinter.
The heart is racing now with the Aussies going to pick up the disc with the opportunity to win the game.
Prentice to Chula. Goes off and around. Ma. Chula unavailable. Oh, but coming through, Stefan Dusha makes the play. No, I take that back. That's Conrad Schlor, and he is on the ground in a bad way. Was it Dusha? Did I get it right the first time?
That was Torben Hernschemeier.
So many 7s on the shirts.
That.
Actually, yeah, 37. That's got to be Dusha.
There's going to be a call on the play. I believe Dusha looks like he might have injured himself on that one.
Well, this is the moment where you have to make those bids. Hopefully it was clean enough and didn't manage to catch any of Chula on the way through, but Stefan Dusha.
I'm going to make a guess who's coming on here for the Germans. Should be Nico Müller. And it is. Good opportunity to bring him on.
Nico Müller coming out for Germany.
So a German possession.
Really no call.
Credit to Tom Chulett there, trying to redeem after the play, but this is where, yes, you have a short roster, yes, you want to have everybody in the final, but if this is what promotes you through and sends you to the big show.
Great shit! On both sides here. We saw earlier Dosher got a little contact in the air, didn't call it. Happened there with Tom Chulett.
Nico Müller, the man with the disc, and he throws an instant score, and we are on universe in this semi. Oh, we're getting everything we want.
Bad.
Plus a sprinkle of something extra. Let's go.
It does not get bigger than this. 12-12, game to 13. Steph Doscher rescuing the game for Germany. Samuel Beutenmüller showing his powerful moves in the end zone. Everyone's buzzing now. Germany starting on defense. Australia with a possession to win the game. Let's see who they're going to bring out.
Samuel Beutenmüller there with the goal to bring us to 12s. We're going to get the full.
Please like the stream, please.
Out of this match.
Yeah, if you guys could please do like the stream, subscribe to the channel. This is my second channel where I'll be potentially doing watch parties, all my extra content, and if I do film or live stream in the future, it'll all be here. I might be doing a watch party for tomorrow's games.
Gonna have the first throw of this point.
So I'm not too sure. Hey, appreciate that, everyone.
Will the psychological training, the focus of the Crocs, send them into that final?
No shot they send it to Rob Andrews, right? No shot, right? That'd be weird.
Looks off McGuckin. Hot pressure. Ma. Nice. One high is the take from Cat Phillips. Marked by Troutman. Tulip being smothered by Nico Müller. The two dominant handlers battling on this field.
Yeah, delighted to see Nico Müller crossing over for the first time, I believe, this tournament.
Back in with Phillips. Those backswing passes need to be a little bit lower. So both teams have come unstuck. Thinks about the inside shot. Just a straight flat around. McGuckin. Back to Prentice.
Zoom out, please.
Gerner also coming across from the O-line.
Oh my god, situation. I don't like that shot.
Troutman on Phillips. McGuckin. Looks around.
Nice shot.
Nice
I
slice
don't
through
like.
to Tulip. Oh, it is an easy pass for the goal. Liv Carr brings it home for Australia, and they are going to be seeing themselves a guaranteed medal. But which colour will it be? Commiserations to the Germans, the Cinderella team of this tournament. Started at that bottom seed. So few people backed them, but excellent stuff to get themselves into this match, and they can go back to Europe proud.
Australia have booked a ticket to the final. You can see the emotion of Liv Carr's face there. That's going to be one of the best moments of her life, one of the best moments in Australian Ultimate. What a game. Unfortunately, the Cinderella story somewhat over for the Germans.
Yep.
If this tournament wasn't
Central
even in
Time.
USA, they wouldn't have qualified. It's only because the host nation was USA that they came here, bottom seed, beat the US, probably one of the biggest games ever in terms of European Ultimate.
4 p.m. Central.
Lost against a fantastic
4? Is that 4? 2 p.m. Yeah, 4 p.m. and 6 p.m. Central.
They just as their Ultimate 2 traditional, too much long game, but
so that's 2 p.m. and 4 p.m.
Pacific
Standard
the
Time.
tears for the German side here, and you really feel for them. I don't think anyone deserved to lose this game.
I'm gonna make a last-minute decision whether or not I'm gonna stream the bronze medal game, because that'll be
Colombia, Germany.
We'll see. I feel like it might be a bit more chill, but we'll see. We'll definitely be doing a watch party for the finals. Once again, everyone, please do, like, if you are gonna watch, please make sure you're watching the official stream. If it's not working, then yeah, come watch, but try to get the official stream.
Of just those high receptions, the verticality we've been talking about.
Okay, I guess I just leave this up. I'm gonna just leave that up. Yeah, thank y'all. Hold on, we're gonna mute this or lower this. Thanks everyone for watching, hanging out.
really fun. Much better way to watch with people. Anyways, peace out. Have a good night, everyone.